Welcome to Fantasy Audiobook, National Armorization, Infinite Evolution Super Illusory God. Chapter 21. Weakness, Hallucinations. Get out of the way. Zhou Dao's reminder sounded. Su Ming subconsciously activated the moon speed state and left the place directly. At this time, the purple energy on the mandala buds turned into a huge beam of light, straddling the sky and blasting towards Su Ming's position. Boom! A path of destruction that runs through more than 20 meters appears in its original location. Apart from the burnt dirt, there are no other traces. Su Ming, who came back to his senses, shed a drop of cold sweat. He was hit by this blow, and it was estimated that he would definitely sacrifice himself. That white flower stem is the weakness of the main root of the mandala. When it's exposed, give me a death bomb. Zhou Dao instantly realized what was happening, and then he carried lightning down from the sky and slammed into the mountain. At this time, Mandala plunged back into the mountain of corpses and began to defend against Zhou Dao's thunder. However, this time, everyone discovered that the entire mountain of corpses began to wriggle, rolling down large corpses. Can you see the weakness of Mandala? Zhang Jing said speechlessly after following Su Ming for the rest of his life. Su Ming was stunned and said speechlessly, I didn't know that was its weakness. The system only showed the attributes of eudemons, but it didn't show any weaknesses. Just relying on his eyes to recognize his talent, it was a bit awkward to see that place, and Su Ming just hit him casually. You look for opportunities with me. Captain may not be able to win this mandala in a short time. This phantom beast was born from the essence of flesh and blood, and its defense is too high. Zhang Jing said. Su Ming nodded, then observed. He can also see that the scene is now deadlocked. The mandala can't beat Zhou Dao, and Zhou Dao can't do anything about the mandala for the time being. It is worthy of being the first phantom beast in the plant department. In the next time, Su Ming followed the rhythm of the team and added some damage at will. Although it is like scratching a tickling for mandala, other instructors are similar. In this way, Su Ming paid more attention to the hidden white stems. However, mandala seems to have learned well, and has never been exposed. Su Ming can only play soy sauce for a while. After another stalemate for a while, mandala seemed to be a little unbearable. The flower body suddenly turned around and released a strange red light towards the instructor closest to it. The instructor's response was a beat, and he didn't dodge. In an instant, his eyes became extremely red. Just like those mutated red-eyed eudemons. Just when he was about to go mad, he saw Zhou Dao jump down, knock the instructor unconscious with a knife, and said, I fell into the hallucination of the mandala, dispel it. Don't get too close. Non-silver magic envoys seem to be unable to bear it. At this moment, the expressions of all the instructors changed. The magician means taking the road of spiritual evolution in order to resist hallucinations. That is to say, the mandala in front of him, just by hallucination, can completely destroy them at the silver level. The power of the mandala is vividly reflected at this moment. After realizing that there was a loss of personnel, Zhou Dao couldn't help it. Thunderbolt. The iron wings behind Zhou Dao's back actually shrank, and the whole body was covered with dense lightning, and then it turned into a flash, with a speed that Su Ming couldn't see clearly, and rushed down. At this time, mandala seems to be aware of the crisis. The entire flower stem began to wriggle violently, and the corpse mountain below sank a section. Afterwards, a curtain of flowers thicker than just now was transformed into its flower body. When Zhou Dao's body slammed heavily behind the curtain. Boom! A shock wave like a missile explosion turned into invisible ripples and spread from the top of the mountain. And that mountain of corpses made a loud bang, directly shaking away more than half of the rotten corpse ashes. Blocked. The mandala actually blocked Zhou Dao's move. Everyone present, including Su Ming, couldn't believe it. Only a silver-level mandala is so strong. Thunder. A high roar rose to the sky. Suddenly, Zhou Dao's whole body was like a punishment from heaven, forming a lightning zone with a range of 50 meters. The captain has used the most powerful trick. Zhang Jing said solemnly. Seeing this scene like a punishment from heaven, Su Ming was an eye-opener. But in the next instant, with his amazing vision, Su Ming discovered that, at some point, the white stem of the mandala was exposed again. Most importantly, it seems that some liquid is still brewing, and it is transported towards the flower bud. In an instant, Su Ming realized something. Poison. No matter how powerful the mandala is, the most terrifying thing is the poison. Chief Instructor, poisonous, Wolf King Cannon, Su Ming shouted without hesitation. And in that instant, he gathered all his strength, shot the Wolf King Cannon, and hit the white flower stem. ... At this time, Zhou Dao had a hunch that in a few seconds, he would be able to break through the defense of mandala. But when Su Ming's shout sounded, he was not surprised for a moment. By the way, I found that the bud of the mandala was blooming, and a green energy group with foam was brewing. The premonition of death came to my mind. At this moment, Zhou Dao used all his strength, unfolded his iron wings, and blasted into the sky. At the same time, the mandala's buds also exhaled a green energy liquid. When it came into contact with the air, it began to burn violently, releasing a strong smoke, drawing a trajectory in midair, and then falling into the woods below. In an instant, within a radius of 5 miles, it was corroded by a cloud of green liquid, and all the trees melted directly. Seeing this scene, Zhou Dao left a drop of cold sweat and was afraid, but fortunately escaped. But at this moment, boom, squeak tilde, a strange sound brought Zhou Dao back to his senses. I don't know when, an energy wave across the mountain hit mandala directly. Originally, these attacks were ineffective, but when Zhou Dao saw the white flower stem, he instantly understood. Thunderbolt, swish it, Zhou Dao fell from the sky and instantly pierced through this white flower stem. In an instant, the mandala seemed to be uncontrollably, shaking violently. The entire mountain of corpses collapsed at the same time. Zhou Dao launched an all-out attack again. And this time, Su Ming finally found that the battle returned to the stage he was familiar with. Gold level finally crushed silver level. National Armorization. Infinite Evolution Super Illusory God 22. 22. Phantasm, Seed, Legend Other Side Flower. The fierce battle is still going on. But now, Su Ming can also see that the mandala is holding on. When the white flower stem was completely cut off, the strength of the mandala dropped by more than half. Until 10 minutes later, with Zhou Dao's lightning strike, the mandala's bud was completely cut off and collapsed on the corpse mountain. In an instant, the entire mountain of corpses began to weather, turned into powder and blown away by the wind, revealing the interior scene. Ha! Phantom! A dazzling light flashed from the weathered corpse mountain. All the instructors lit up, including Zhou Dao's eyes full of surprises. What is that? Su Ming asked when he saw more than 40 crystals. He could feel that the crystal contained a huge amount of energy. Eudemons that are promoted to the bronze level will condense the power in their bodies into a core. We call this core a magic crystal. When I killed the herd in front of me, I was wondering why there was no magic crystal. It now seems that the moment mandala controlled the eudemons, they deprived them of their crystals. Zhang Jing said with joy. At this time, Zhou Dao had already landed on the illusion crystal. 30 or so bronze-level magic crystals, and a dozen silver-level magic crystals. It's worth about 5 million credit points. It's not for nothing, Zhou Dao said after looking at it. Hearing this, Su Ming was stunned. Horrified. What is it? 5 million credits. You know, the 50,000 scholarship that the principal promised to give him is a huge sum of money in Su Ming's view. But now, this pile of crystals is worth 5 million. Zhang Jing smiled, then pinched Su Ming's cheek and said, "Don't be so excited. The market value of a bronze-level magic crystal is about 50,000 credit points. The silver-level phantom starts at 300,000, and it can go up in subdivisions. Otherwise, how could the mercenaries get such good treatment?" Su Ming finally understands why the mercenary industry is developing so fast. This is just a magic crystal, and it is worth 5 years of ordinary people's wages. This time, each person will share a bronze-level magic crystal. In addition, because of Su Ming's help, I took out 2 additional silver grades to pay him alone. The rest, go back to the group and pay according to the salary. Zhou Dao said. Hearing this, all the instructors nodded in approval. But Su Ming was a little embarrassed and said, "Is this too expensive?" "It's not expensive. If it wasn't for your cleverness, I might have died this time." Zhou Dao smiled slightly, took 1 bronze phantom and 2 silver phantoms and handed them to Su Ming. If it weren't for Su Ming's last reminder, Zhou Dao would have to die if he didn't die. The toxicity of the mandala is clearly recorded, and it can leapfrog the poison of death armor. Okay, then I'll take it. After all, for the reward of 650,000 credit points, Su-ming is welcome. But when he put the magic crystal in his pocket, the system's prompt sounded. Ding, energy crystals are detected, do you switch evolution points? Su-ming was stunned for a moment, can the magic crystal transform the evolution point? Yes. Ding, recover 1 level 1 energy crystal and 10 level 2 energy crystal. Good guy, give yourself 11 evolution points directly. Su-ming opened the panel and checked it out. Open black lens bracket host close black lens bracket, Su-ming. Level, bronze low grade. Talent, eyesight, black iron. Eudemons 1, silver moon wolf king. Evolution point, 13. There are a total of 13 evolution points, and it only takes 5 points to turn back and let Xiaohui evolve the Howling Moon Sirius. There are still 8 points, you can let yourself evolve. Thinking of this, Su-ming couldn't wait. Other armored envoys still need to practice on their own, but if you evolve yourself, you will be done. In addition, there are 12 mandala seeds, worth about 1 million credit points. Let the headquarters handle it later. After Zhou Dao packed up the magic crystal, he found 12 black seeds on Mandala's body. Hearing this, Su-ming's expression changed. Captain, can you give me one of these seeds? In an instant, all the instructors looked at Su-ming at the same time. Don't tell me, do you want to contract this mandala? Then raise it. Zhang Jing couldn't help but said loudly. Su-ming flashed a bit of doubt and said strangely, can't you? Su-ming, yes, yes. But plant seeds are difficult to raise, and the success rate is not high. And the most important thing is that mandala is too special. If you want to evolve, the average daily consumption of flesh and blood irrigation is about 500,000 credit points. Zhou Dao explained in a rare and serious manner. A flash of surprise flashed in Su-ming's eyes. Good guy. Consume 500,000 credits every day. No wonder no one raised the mandala. Well, I want to raise it. As for the contract or not, let's talk about it. After thinking about it carefully, Su-ming said. Hearing this, everyone present smiled. After all, the power of the mandala made them all envious, but unfortunately the cost was too terrifying. Let's do it. You take a seed and raise it first. Before the seed breaks the ground, the resources consumed are about 5,000 credit points per day. Don't rush into the contract. After it breaks ground, decide whether to be your second eudemons. If you really can't afford it, remember to destroy it directly after breaking the ground, and don't let it grow freely. After Zhou Dao explained it seriously, he took out one of the seeds and handed it to Su-ming. Seeing that Zhou Dao was so serious, Su-ming nodded in agreement, and asked again about raising a mandala. When a period of time passed, when the battlefield was cleaned and ready to go back, Su-ming asked the most important question. Captain, to raise mandala, does it need to be continuously watered with flesh and blood? If you continue to invest, then Su-ming will have to think carefully about whether to contract a mandala. Because this is very likely to make others suspicious. The most important thing for me is Goldfinger, which must not be exposed to the outside world. If it's just a mandala, it must continue to be irrigated with flesh and blood. Unless, you can make mandala evolve to legendary quality. Zhou Dao explained with a smile. Su-ming asked so many questions, which means that this student must be a little hesitant. With 500,000 credit points per day, even Zhou Dao himself can't afford it. The cultivation of mandala is not something that a single person can accomplish. What will the mandala evolve into? Su-ming asked brightly. As long as you let the mandala evolve as soon as possible, it will be fine. With Goldfinger in hand, in terms of evolution, Su-ming guarantees that no one can compare to himself. The mandala is evolving, you should have heard of it. Legend, the flower of the other shore. The flower of the soul that guides the dead and the dead. National Armorization. Infinite Evolution Super Illusory God 23. 23. Joint Entrance Exam, Succeed, Unblocking Xiaoyu Sirius. Outside the deep forest, all the students of number 3 high school began to gather and prepare to go back one after another. The 2-week special training ended abruptly when the mandala appeared. But for everyone, it is unforgettable. All students experienced this special training and began to change. Some of them fought to the death, some of them were promoted, and their childish aura began to fade. But no matter what kind of results he made, he was overshadowed by Su-ming. At this time, Su Ming was playing with a pitch-black seed in his hand. Eudemon's Mandala species. Level, normal. Quality, rare. Talent, devour, rare. Poison, rare. Skill, absorb, normal. Note, devour. Speed up the swallowing of energy. Note, absorption. Accelerates the absorption of energy. After seeing the luxurious panel of the mandala, and looking at the seed in front of him, Su Ming felt uninterested. Retains the most basic ability of plant-based eudemons. If you want to develop slowly, I really don't know when it will be. However, after returning to the contract tonight, there must be some big changes. It's time to go to school. Everyone, get off the bus. As Guo Dong's voice sounded, everyone got up and got out of the car and returned to the classroom one after another. But not long after sitting down, he saw Guo Dong hurried into the classroom and said, "There are still 2 weeks before the college entrance examination. Everyone have a rest tonight. Tomorrow the school will do a final test. In addition, I just received a notice from the school that in 3 days, Xuancheng will conduct a city-wide joint examination. The champion will be rewarded with 200,000 credit points from Xuancheng. Student Su Ming will be sent to the competition. Please cheer for all the students." In an instant, the entire classroom burst into applause, leaving Su Ming stunned. Xuancheng joint entrance examination. But after hearing the reward of 200,000 credit points, Su Ming got up and said, "Mr. Guo, I will work hard. You can get along with anyone, but you can't get along with money." All the students in the class looked at each other and smiled. With Su Ming's strength, it really is to bully people. Okay, let's all get out of school, everyone go home and have a good rest. Student Su Ming, go to the academic affairs office later to receive the scholarship. Also, you don't have to go to school tomorrow, come over the next morning and go directly to the competition. Guo Dong said again. Hearing this, Su Ming nodded, got up first and rushed towards the academic affairs office. Make the whole class laugh. ... Principal Zhu Hong, who never accepted the gift and did not recognize his name, received the scholarship. After Su Ming promised to win the joint entrance examination, he left the school and walked home. Due to the difficulties at home, Su Ming's parents had already taken their younger sister Su Shi, who was in junior high school, to work in Qingcheng next door, leaving Su Ming to live alone. Looking at Karen's 50,000 credits, and remembering the sight of his parents going to Qingcheng for the 5,000 credit signing fee a few years ago, Su Ming sighed. The first thing I did when I got home was to transfer 30,000 credits to my parents' card through the device. In the next instant, Su Ming's video phone rang. Su Ming, have you done something bad? Why did you get so much money? When it was connected for a moment, I saw the anxious picture of my mother. Su Ming couldn't help laughing and said directly, "Mom, I did nothing wrong. I was promoted to Armored Ambassador. This is the scholarship given to me by the school." Click. Something seems to have fallen on the other end of the phone. What did you say? Have you become an armored envoy? An unbelievable male voice sounded, and he saw the haggard face of his father, with a look of not fooling lousy, appearing in the picture. Dad, really, don't believe you call, ask the school. At this moment, Su Ming said, the best way to reassure parents is to ask the teacher. Your father, I'll call and ask now. If it's fake, go back to Xuancheng and don't break your leg, I won't believe Su. In an instant, there was a panicked phone inquiries from the other end of the phone. When a sentence, "Whoa teacher, it is true." After resounding through the room, there was a panicked and excited movement from the small room at the other end of the video. Son, are you really an envoy of armor? Your teacher Guo said that you will definitely be admitted to a key university. Sure enough, it's the seed of my old Su family. Looking back, my old classmates will be envious. Seeing the proud expressions of his parents, Su Ming also showed a soft smile. As the eldest son, the most successful moment may be now. Wow, brother, you have really become an armored envoy. In the video screen, a fair and beautiful face suddenly squeezed into it. Su Ming saw that it was his sister, Su Shi. A few years ago, she was a thin and weak little girl, but now she has come out so smart and generous. Have you had plastic surgery? Su Ming asked in disbelief. Hearing this, Su Shi on the other end of the video pouted and said angrily, how is it possible? How can I have money for plastic surgery? This lady is a natural beauty. Su Ming waved his hand helplessly. What are you talking about? You are my sister anyway. He. My brother is the best. Su-shi showed a bright smile in the blink of an eye. The family chatted on the video call until night fell before Su-ming said, Mom and Dad, you should go back to Xuancheng to retire. Now there is no shortage of money, you don't need to work in Qingcheng. Thinking about the 200,000 credit points rewarded by the Xuancheng joint examination, and the speed at which he harvested phantom beasts, it would be a strange thing to be short of money. A casual trip is worth 10 years of parents' wages. After discussing with each other for a while, the parents said, let's come back in 2 months. The construction period here will end in 2 months. Your sister's high school entrance examination is also at a critical time, so you can't be distracted. And on your side, you have to prepare for the college entrance examination. Let's pass this time as usual. Hearing this arrangement, Su-ming nodded. During this time, everyone was very busy, and they were not obsessed with saying, okay then, Mom and Dad, Su-shi, come back and contact me when the time comes. ... Okay, son, then you can do it first. Brother, come on for the college entrance examination. When the phone hung up, Su-ming exhaled. After contacting your family, let your anxiety be solved. Then, let's start to improve our strength. Thinking of this, Su-ming summoned Xiaohui. The Silver Moon Wolf King looked around, and there was no danger at all, so he murmured. And Su-ming, with a sinister smile on the corner of his mouth, Xiaohui, feel the pain. Facing evolution System, evolve the Howling Moon Sirius. Ding, do you consume 5 evolution points to improve the quality of Silver Moon Wolf King? Yes. Ding, Howling Moon Heavenly Wolf's bloodline is being unsealed. In an instant, Su-ming discovered that the bright moon in the sky kept getting bigger in his vision, heading towards Xiaohui, who was wrapped in white light. National Armorization. Infinite Evolution Super Illusory God 24. National Armorization. Infinite Evolution Super Illusory God 24. Epic, Ear Consciousness, Straight Mandala. Looking at the bigger and bigger moon, Su-ming almost thought it was the end of the world. But after rubbing his eyes, he found out that it turned out to be a phantom of the moon transformed from the moonlight, heading towards Xiaohui. White light enveloped the Silver Moon Wolf King, which was extremely holy. But this time, the strange thing is that the size of the Silver Moon Wolf King has gradually shrunk in the process of evolution. The silver pattern on the wolf's fur also appeared on the eggshell made of white light. The moonlight also began to inject at this moment, and bright white stripes emerged, intertwined with silver stripes. After a long time, when the white light shrank to the size of Su-ming, it gradually dissipated. A bright white claws, refracting the crystal light, gathered a faint moonlight, and the holy wolf with the full moon imprint on the eyebrows appeared in front of Su-ming. At this moment, Su-ming couldn't help being stunned. Is this still his own phantom? Seeing his appearance like a daiosi becoming tall, rich and handsome in seconds, Su-ming couldn't help rubbing his eyes again. After feeling the change in his body, Xiaohui rushed to the window excitedly, and began to growl lowly at the bright moon in the sky. In the blink of an eye, Su-ming saw that the surrounding moonlight, as if attracted by something, was gathered by the mark on Xiaohui's forehead, and rushed into his body. Open black lens bracket U demons close black lens bracket, Howling Moon Sirius. Level, Bronze low grade. Quality, Epic. Talent, Howling Moon Epic, Sirius Epic, Shanyu Epic, Moonrise Epic. Skills, Crystal Blade Bronze, Moon Stepping Bronze, Sirius Roar Bronze, Sirius Shadow Bronze, Howling Moon Strike Bronze, Wolf Howling Shot Bronze, Wolf King Cannon Bronze. Note, Xiaoyu echoes with the moonlight and produces a great qualitative change in combat power. Note, Sirius. It can change its body shape, and the epic leadership includes all the following wolves. Note, showing the moon. Can condense a small moon. Note, Moonrise. Under the moonlight, agility, attack, recovery, and defense are greatly improved. Note, Crystal Blade. Improve defense and increase damage. Note, Step on the Moon. With the help of moonlight, keep flying. Note, Sirius Roar. Spiritual attack. Note, Sirius Shadow. You can continue to escape into the shadow under the moonlight. Note, Howling Moon Strike. Fusion with the moonlight, a full blow. After seeing the information given by Goldfinger, Su-ming couldn't help taking a breath. At this moment, Xiaohui was able to change his body shape and even command all wolves below the epic level. In the past, Yuehui, Yuyan, Yumin, Moonspeed, Silver Pattern and other talent skills were all integrated into the Moonrise talent. And the skills are all re-coordinated. In addition to the existence of Xiaoyu, how Su Ming sees it, Xiaohui looks like an existence that can transform twice at night. Or else, under the evolution for you. Looking at Xiaohui's panel, Su Ming had an urge to smash the remaining 8 evolution points into it. This evolution is addictive, but when Su Ming really did this, the system prompt sounded. Ding, Howling Moon Sirius can't evolve, please upgrade the level before proceeding with the relevant evolution. At this moment, Su Ming reacted, it seems that evolution is limited by level. After all, at this moment, he is only a low-grade bronze. Then, now it's my turn to evolve myself. System, the remaining 8 evolution points, evolve myself. Ding, it is detected that the host's body absorbs up to 5 evolution points, is it evolving? Yes, Su Ming said directly. With the limitations of Eudemons in front, Su Ming is no longer confused about his own evolutionary limitations. In an instant, Su Ming's body was like a flame, and the whole body was burning violently. Although the pain is increasing, Su Ming at this moment can fully feel that the whole body is rapidly evolving like dividing cells. The power is rising rapidly, and the 5 senses have also been greatly improved. Just halfway through the evolution, Su Ming found that he could hear the women's gasping voices from upstairs. Good guy. At this point, it is still in motion. But when this thought flashed through Su Ming's mind, his eyes suddenly clicked, and there was a crisp sound. In an instant, the entire perspective picture began to be divided, forming an indescribable picture. But when Su Ming looked out the window in a cohesive look through this picture, he was able to see the flagpole of number 3 high school 2 kilometers away. Open black lens bracket host close black lens bracket, Su Ming. Level, bronze low grade. Talent, eye consciousness bronze ear consciousness black iron. Eudemons 1, Howling Moon Sirius. Evolution point 3. When the evolution was over, Su Ming looked at his own panel and couldn't help but flash a strange color. The eye consciousness talent has been promoted to bronze, and then another ear sensing talent was born. Although it doesn't look strong, Su Ming understands how helpful these 2 talents are in battle. After everything had evolved, Su Ming took a cold shower at home to wash off the dirt from his body and lay on the sofa. Today, the evolution of himself and Xiaohui can be said to have reached a bottleneck. Then next, it is time to start contracting the second Eudemons. Thinking of this, Su Ming took out the mandala seed, dripped his own blood, painted the basic contract pattern, and placed the seed in the middle. Ding, an Eudemon's Datura species has been detected, is it a contract? Yes. Ding, successful contract, Datura species. Ding, Datura species, start to synchronize the level, the synchronization is successful. Current, bronze low level. After hearing this prompt, Su Ming was taken aback. What the hell, grade sync, the mandala species is directly inferior to bronze. At this moment, Su Ming looked at mandala, but in an instant, his expression froze. The mandala, which was just a seed, has now grown into a bud that is more than 5 meters high. It is bending the main pole and swaying back and forth in the room. And at its root, there is a white flower stalk, looming. I'm going. This is more exaggerated than I thought. Su Ming murmured. At this moment, mandala also discovered Su Ming at the same time, and the purple light flashed, turned into a phantom tattoo, and entered Su Ming's body. In an instant, Su Ming's neck was covered with densely packed root tattoos, and finally turned into a blooming mandala flower. Su Ming couldn't help but open the mandala's panel. Open black lens bracket Eudemons close black lens bracket, flower of mandala. Level, bronze low grade. Quality, epic. Talent, devour, epic poison, epic toughness, epic confuse, epic. Skills, absorption, bronze, hallucination, bronze, manipulation, bronze, flower curtain, bronze. Seeing this replica-like attribute, Su Ming has a deep understanding of his powerful gold finger. What to feed? Contract Eudemons. After synchronization, you can use it. Asterisk. National Armorization. Infinite Evolution Super Illusory God 25. National Armorization. Infinite Evolution Super Illusory God. 25. Exam Preparation. 1 person, college entrance examination data. compared to the mandala at the peak of silver, although it lacks a lot of skills at the moment. But there are a lot of important talent skills. Although only at the bronze level, Su Ming understands that after entering silver, the mandala will recover to its peak. Well, I'll call you Shalwa in the future. Su Ming stroked the tattoo on his neck and said. At this moment, the mandala's tattoo slowly lit up, obviously satisfied with the name. After finishing everything, Su Ming fell asleep. Until I woke up in the afternoon the next day. Today, the school started a thorough test for the college entrance examination. Su Ming did not need to participate, so he was lazy to go out. With the help of the internet, after updating the information of his second Phantom Beast on the college entrance examination system, Su Ming opened a book that he hadn't read for a long time and began to review the knowledge of Phantom Beasts. After the Divine Recovery, the college entrance examination is divided into 3 parts: written test, Phantom Beast, and battle. The written test only accounts for about 5% of the basic score, and frankly speaking, it is of little significance to the candidates. The knowledge of eudemons had already been learned in junior high school. Basically, all students who study normally can pass the written test. But the meaning of this thing's existence is to delete illiterate people. The country didn't want the powerful armored envoy to be illiterate, that would be a headache. Su Ming's reviewing at the moment is also for the college entrance examination. A few days ago, Zhang Jing said that this year's college entrance examination was so scary, and Su Ming didn't want to capsize because of the score in the written test. The phantom of the college entrance examination is the candidate information that Su Ming has just updated. This thing, the candidates report it uniformly, lock the monster information on the last day of the college entrance examination, and then calculate the corresponding score according to the big data, accounting for 35% of the college entrance examination score. As for the last battle, it accounts for 60% of the total score of the college entrance examination. But exactly what, no one knows. Last year was a battle of candidates, the year before was a battle of barracks, and the previous year was a battle of guarding the city. In short, every year can play flowers. Su Ming didn't bother anymore. After spending a day sorting it out, he recharged his energy again and prepared for tomorrow's Xuancheng joint entrance examination. In the early morning of the second day, Su Ming came to the school. The principal Zhu Hong and the head teacher Guo Dong were already waiting. When they saw Su Ming coming, their eyes lit up. Su Ming is here. Principal, let's go straight to the entrance exam site, Guo Dong said directly. Su Ming was stunned for a moment, and looked around. Except for himself, he didn't even have a classmate, and said without a face. Principal, Mr. Guo, don't tell me, I am the only one competing. Hearing this, Zhu Hong said with satisfaction, of course. This joint entrance examination, you alone are enough. After all, other students have to prepare for the college entrance examination. And, in order to stimulate your fighting spirit, you won the first place in the joint entrance examination, and the school is rewarding you with an additional bonus of 50,000 yuan. The corners of Su Ming's mouth twitched, and it was enough for God to be alone. However, when he heard that the school was giving 50,000 bonuses, Su Ming instantly lost his opinion. This publicity exam was placed in the city's largest eudemons hall. When Su Ming followed the principal and Guo Dong to the scene, he saw that the surrounding auditorium was already full of people. In the contestant area, students from 5 high schools were also in place. It seems that everyone attaches great importance to this joint entrance examination. This is not Principal Zhu of number 3 high school. Why did he bring only one student to the competition? When the 3 of Su Ming walked towards the area, a group of thin middle-aged men with Mediterranean hairstyles blocked their way. Behind him, there were more than a dozen students in school uniforms. When Su Ming swept the sign on his chest, the word Zhehe appeared. Zhehe High School, Xuancheng's top high school, HMPH, old bald man, I'm not like you. The students are preparing for the college entrance examination, and they bring a large group of people to participate in this kind of competition. Zhu Hong said. Hearing his headmaster snorted coldly, Su Ming flashed an unexpected look. There must be a story in it. Old Zhu, how can you say that? The college entrance examination situation is so severe this year, and the joint entrance examinations are held in major cities to give students a thorough understanding. Those of us who are engaged in education must respond to the call of the city and let students show their own style. It seems that you are very confident in this student. Wait a moment, let the city master Zhangqi also appreciate the style of your school. The bald middle-aged man talked with a frame on his face, not caring about the other party's expression at all. And Zhehai's participating students also set their sights on Su Ming. Even one of the short boys, who was less than 1.6 meters long, made a gesture of cutting his throat towards Su Ming, showing that he was terrifying. Seeing this scene, Su Ming couldn't help but be happy. And Guo Dong walked up to Su Ming and said, "This is the principal of Zhehai High School. He was a rival in love with our principal back then, and we had a holiday. These years, our school has been under pressure from Zhehai. It's up to you this year." Hearing this, Su Ming slapped his mouth. Rival. Unexpectedly, Principal Zhu, who does not accept gifts and does not recognize his name, and the bald principal opposite to him have such a deep holiday. Sure enough, men have stories. Su Ming, go back and teach me a hard lesson to Zhehai's students. After it's over, I'm personally paying out of my own pocket and rewarding you with 50,000 credit points. Zhu Hong said angrily with a big belly. Su Ming's expression changed instantly, and he said seriously, "Understood. Principal, how do you teach the opposite?" This time, Zhu Hong really made a lot of money. "Well, wait for the city owner to be present, you can't go too far, let's do it. Let their phantom beasts be injured." Hearing this request, Su Ming raised an okay gesture and said, "Principal, promise to complete the task." When Su Ming finished his promise, there was a commotion in the whole scene. I don't know when, an imposing middle-aged man brought a group of people into the scene and sat on the top of the city. It was the city owner of Zhangqi. "City Lord Zhang is here. I'll go to accompany you first. Guo Dong, accompany Su Ming to the competition here," Zhu Hong said, and hurriedly got up and squeezed towards the city head. Nearly half an hour later, the riot on the side of the city head officially ended, and all the principals were sitting next to the city master Zhang. Just when Su Ming was drowsy, City Lord Zhang got up and said, "This year's college entrance examination is called the strongest college entrance examination ever. Judedu's college entrance examination data revealed that there are more than 500 candidates for bronze-level armored envoys across the country, and over 50 candidates for silver-level armored envoys. Among them, 400 candidates contracted epic-level phantom beasts. There are even 3 candidates who contracted legendary-level phantom beasts." At this moment, the whole scene exploded. Everyone already knows from various channels that the college entrance examination this year is difficult. Unexpectedly, the specific data is so exaggerated. Although the opponent is very strong, we can't give up. This Xuancheng joint entrance examination, I hope all candidates will show the most powerful posture and announce our existence to the whole country. Now, as the city lord, I announce that the joint entrance examination. National Armorization. Infinite Evolution Super Illusory God 26. 26. Low-key, hand-tiered, Zhehai also has bronze-armored ambassadors. After hearing the college entrance examination data, Su Ming was amazed. The data this time is more terrifying than what Zhang Jing said. Compared with previous years, it is simply 1 day and 1 earth. It is estimated that the students who have achieved grades this year are definitely on the rise. At this moment, the joint entrance examination on the spot officially started. A total of 5 arenas are held at the same time, so the speed of the competition is also very fast. After a little observation, Su Ming found that the scene was like playing a house. Basically, they are all phantom beasts of middle-grade black iron. After all, Xuancheng is a small city. If the joint entrance examination is placed in the 5 major capitals, it is estimated that all the armored envoys will go shopping in the initial stage. Ring number 6, Zhehai Middle School, Li Wei vs number 3 High School, Su Ming. The live broadcast sounded impressively, and Guo Dong said, "It's your turn." Su Ming nodded and walked towards the number 6 ring. It turned out to be Zhehai Middle School, so you have to use money to do things. And when Su Ming saw his opponent, Su Ming smiled even more. It was the little dwarf who had just cut his throat. "Haha, I didn't expect to actually meet you. Looks like Principal Kang's reward, I've got it," Li Wei said excitedly. At the same time, in the contestant area of Zhehai Middle School, more than a dozen students also sighed, making Su Ming a little nonsensical. Principal Zhu, it looks like Zhihei is going to win again this time. When you meet Li Wei, it's bad luck for your student. He was promoted to the top grade of Black Iron a week ago. On the head of the city, Zhihei's bald headmaster said with a smug look on his face. In exchange, Zhu Hong rolled his eyes. Su Ming's strength, others don't know, but he Zhu Hong cannot know. Principal Zhu, in the past years, you and Principal Kong didn't fight very hard, why didn't you even say a word this year? At this moment, the city owner Zhang Qi also joked unexpectedly. Before the college entrance examination every year, these two are the most fierce contenders, and it has become a habit. This year, when the third high school suddenly became quiet, Zhang Qi was still a little uncomfortable. For such an important joint entrance examination this year, number 3 high school is only one person participating. It seems that Principal Zhu is quite confident. Zhang Qi looked at the empty contestant area of number 3 high school and added again, and looked at the number 6 ring. Hearing this, Zhu Hong smiled and said, City Lord Zhang, watch the game. At this moment, all the principals of the high school looked surprised. This fatty Zhu, how quiet is this year? Afterwards, I couldn't help but look at the number 6 ring. Come out, bloodthirsty lizard. In the ring, before Su Ming could speak, Li Wei summoned his Eudemons. It's too late to admit defeat as soon as possible. My bloodthirsty hunting lizard of rare quality has been promoted to the top grade Black Iron, ranking 3rd in the school, you don't have any chance. Li Wei said proudly. It also attracted the attention of the scene. This is the first one to appear, a rare Black Iron top grade Eudemons. At this moment, Su Ming looked at the large lizard in front of him, nearly 3 meters long, and fell silent for a while. This body is too small. High-grade Black Iron, don't they all grow to more than 5 meters? Is this phantom beast in front of you stunted, or what? Just this phantom beast. Su Ming thought about it and couldn't help asking. In an instant, there was a burst of boos from Zhihei Middle School. They all know that before becoming an armored envoy, they cannot contract a second phantom beast. This third high school player is simply illiterate. At this time, Li Wei couldn't help laughing. It turns out to be an idiot. Quickly summon your phantom beast and solve you, so I can get the reward. Su Ming was stunned, sighed, and walked towards the bloodthirsty lizard step by step. At this moment, the whole scene was stunned. Then why didn't the student summon the phantom beast, and he was so close to the other side's phantom beast, this was not courting death. But in the next scene, everyone's eyes almost popped out. I saw Su Ming approaching the figure for a flash, and instantly appeared behind the bloodthirsty hunting lizard, stretched out a big hand, grabbed the tail, and a big windmill. The bloodthirsty lizard's 3-meter-long body was like a chicken thrown into the sky by Su Ming. And at this moment, I saw Su Ming stretched out his palm, turned it into a knife, and slashed at the lizard's tail. Click! A broken tail was cut off by Su Ming, spurted blood, and threw it under the ring, twitching on the spot. The bloodthirsty hunting lizard made a painful roar, but under Su Ming's hands, it was unable to move. The entire scene was silent for a moment, and even the contestants in the ring next door were stunned when they saw this scene and forgot to compete. Tear the Eudemons. Is this still human, or that the player himself is a phantom beast? On the top of the city, all the high school principals saw this scene, and they were all shrewd. This fatty Zhu actually cultivated an armored envoy this year. Only the armored envoy can use a human body to produce this effect. Principal Zhu, that's all right. Quietly, unexpectedly giving Xuancheng such a big surprise. Looking at the strength of this student, it's already at the bronze level, right? Zhang Qi said with surprise. According to the data of this year's college entrance examination, there are a full 500 bronze-level armored envoys. Zhang Qi is still worried, and Xuancheng does not even have an armored envoy. But now I can't think of it, the third high school has a qualified person. In this case, Xuancheng's college entrance examination also has a card. It's still the old-fashioned city lord. The student Su Ming was promoted to the bronze level not long ago. Zhu Hong replied with a smile. But now my heart is full of joy. This kid is not just a bronze armored emissary, but an armored emissary certified by the Star Alliance to leapfrog. This is what Zhou Dao said to Zhu Hong himself before he left. Principal Zhu, congratulations. Principal Zhu, it seems that next year, the third high school will attract a large number of outstanding middle school students. This year's college entrance examination, the third high school will be famous. All the principals in Xuancheng had envious expressions on their faces. But the bottom of my heart was scolding, no wonder this fat man is so low-key this year. It turned out to be a blockbuster. At this time, Principal Kong of Zhehe Middle School turned green. Unexpectedly, the old rival in love has even cultivated a bronze-level armored envoy. In this case, City Lord Zhang, Zhehe Middle School also has a bronze-level armored envoy. I wonder if a contestant can be replaced. Principal Kong couldn't help but said. A look of surprise flashed across Zhang Qi's face, there was actually another one. Principal Kong, why didn't you let that student compete? Zhang Qi asked. Principal Kong, who heard this, explained, the bronze armored envoy participating in this kind of joint examination is not too bullying. That's why I didn't let him come. If Principal Zhu hadn't given everyone a surprise, I would have him work hard to prepare for the college entrance examination. At this moment, a smile appeared on Zhang Qi's face. Everyone, don't hide it. Let the armored students come to the competition. This year's college entrance examination is also related to the allocation of resources in major cities. Principal Kong, let the students come quickly. We, Xuancheng, have to show the momentum of the college entrance examination. In an instant, the faces of the other principals turned green. Student Armored Ambassador, where to change for you? Asterisk. National Armorization. Infinite Evolution Super Illusory God 27. 27. Wait, repeat, op1nt and #039, S Floppy Bear. On the head of the city, all the principals frowned. But in the arena, Ji and the dwarf Li Wei's face were directly frightened. He couldn't even understand how the opponent in front of him could be so powerful and violent. Tear the Eudemons. For high school students, this is simply a fantasy. Classmate, weren't you arrogant just now? Didn't you cut my throat? Is there any way to do it now? Su Ming grabbed the 3-meter-long bloodthirsty lizard in his hand and raised his brows. By the way, at the head of the bloodthirsty hunting lizard, he also made a cutthroat gesture at the same time. This little dwarf of Zhehe left a deep impression on Su Ming. If you don't respond, you should treat yourself as a good person. In an instant, Li Wei was about to cry in fear. He cut his throat just to provoke his opponent and increase his aura to scare people. But if the guy on the opposite side cuts his throat with a knife, then his phantom beast will definitely be finished. Lizard-like phantom beasts can still grow out of their tails. But if you break your head, you'll be dead. Brother, I was wrong. I admit defeat. You must not attack, Li Wei shouted. Hearing this, Su Ming flashed a weird smile and said directly, oh. I don't agree to admit defeat. Li Wei's face was full of cold sweat, and his face became more and more frightened. He didn't know how to respond. The opponent in front of him is like a devil, why are you provoking him yourself? But at this moment, the referee's voice entered Li Wei's ears like dawn. The third high school, Su Ming, wins. Su Ming got up helplessly and kicked the bloodthirsty lizard. In an instant, the bloodthirsty hunting lizard made a violent hissing sound, and the 3-meter-long phantom beast flew out of the ring, turned into a phantom beast tattoo, and flew back to Li Wei again. Seeing this scene, Su Ming waved his hand, sighed, boring, and walked off the ring. The shivering Li Wei woke up completely, and rushed back to the Zhehe school's contestant area as if running away. At this time, the whole scene was full of frying pans. Everyone looked at Su Ming and asked who this was. I don't know where the news came from. When I learned that Su Ming was a bronze armored envoy, there was a warm cheer on the scene. Su Ming, come on. Su Ming, I love you. Ah, so handsome, so handsome. If only Su Ming was my boyfriend. In this regard, Su Ming expressed helplessness. Xuancheng joint entrance examination, in Su Ming's eyes, is like a child playing at home. And the next game is exactly the same. When you meet an opponent, you either admit defeat, or you can easily solve it with one punch and one kick. Not even the slightest power of the Eudemons was used. Relying on his own evolved strength, he can overturn the Eudemons, which surprised Su Ming too. The evolution point is simply too buggy, making him almost a humanoid Eudemons. Unconsciously, the joint entrance examination came to the finals. But when Su Ming was about to take the stage, he unexpectedly received a waiting notification. What's going on? Su Ming asked Guo Dong. Guo Dong shook his head and also said he didn't know. At this time, the principal Zhu Hong came to the contestant area and said, that dead bald man is jealous of Su Ming, so he arranged for a bronze-armored student to participate in the competition and he is on his way. City Lord Zhang also agreed. Hearing this, Guo Dong's expression changed and he said angrily, Principal, how can the city owner do this? The students have not signed up, how can they participate? Zhu Hong shook his head with a sigh and said, no way, you know the situation of the college entrance examination this year. The city owner wants to see the students fighting at the highest level. So I agreed to that bald man. There was a trace of resentment in Guo Dong's eyes, but Su Ming showed no expression. Su Ming, I'll see you later. After it's over, the principal is adding 20,000 to you. Zhu Hong said uncomfortably. Hearing this, Su Ming's expression changed instantly. Today, the principal is really generous, and he has added money. Principal, don't worry, after the comparison, I would like to thank the school and you. Su Ming said directly. This makes Zhu Hong happy. After defeating the opponent in a while, Su Ming gave a speech at such a stop on the stage, then he has a face. The students are strong, and they know how to be grateful. They must not envy the old bald man. Su Ming didn't know what Zhu Hong was thinking at the moment, but the principal had to thank him for the extra money. After waiting for about 15 minutes, a very burly contestant with a resolute expression appeared on Zhehai's side. But when Zhu Hong saw the contestant, his expression changed instantly, and he cursed, this old bald man is shameless. The repeaters who have been in the second grade for 2 years are all contestants. When Guo Dong saw this person, he also looked ugly and explained, Su Ming, that player's name is Wang Gang. He was a senior in high school the year before. At that time, because of his participation in the city mission, the Phantom Beast died and missed the college entrance examination. Therefore, Xuancheng specially approved him to repeat his grades for 2 years. I can't think of Zhehai, let him participate this time. Hearing this introduction, Su Ming was slightly surprised. This can be regarded as an antique character in high school. After the divine recovery, the college entrance examination is not something you can repeat if you want to, unless you make a contribution to the country and are specially approved. On the other hand, Wang Gang must have made extraordinary contributions in that mission. This shows that they are not only powerful, but also have rich combat experience, especially in the past 2 years, they are definitely still improving. It looks like this is a real opponent. At the same time, Zhang Qi, who was on the top of the city, also knew Wang Gang's resume. No wonder Zhehai said that it is a bit too bullying to let people participate in the competition. Principal Kong, you've done a good job. The college entrance examination this year is so intense, and Wang Gang's participation can also win glory for Xuancheng. Next, let's watch the match between the 2 bronze-armored envoys in Xuancheng. Zhang Qi said, then put his eyes on the ring. At the same time, the live broadcast also introduced Wang Gang's information. When I learned that it was also a bronze-level armored envoy, the whole scene was completely boiling. No one would have thought that Xuancheng had 2 students to achieve this achievement. Xuancheng Joint Exam Championship, Number 3 High School, Su Ming vs Zhehai High School, Wang Gang. When the sound of the game started, there were enthusiastic shouts from the scene. At this time, the whole group of people in the back row of the auditorium all lit up. This year's college entrance examination is really turbulent. Unexpectedly, Xuancheng can have 2 bronze-armored ambassadors. Yeah, but your Demon Armor University has no show. Let's put you guys have a show at Jinghai University. Don't be arrogant, these 2 students, our Bayan University has accepted them. Piss off. Unbeknownst to Su Ming, there were already universities in the audience, and they were arguing over robbing them. At this time, he stepped on the ring, and he saw the Phantom Beast summoned by Wang Gang, and he was thoughtful. A giant earth yellow bear with a height of nearly 6 meters and a body like petrification appeared on the ring. It is the most cost-effective Eudemons among the epic Eudemons with super high defense. Epic, Earth Bear, but also nicknamed Lazy Bear, National Armorization, Infinite Evolution Super Illusory God 28. Self-confidence, exceeding the standard, and the comparison of Phantom Beasts. The Bear of the Earth, the beast, as its name suggests, all power comes from the earth. Although its aggression is not strong, its skills are not special enough, and even its potential for human evolution is relatively weak. But its defense is ridiculously high. Eudemons, bear of the earth. Level, bronze, low grade. Quality, epic. Talent, power of the earth, epic. Skills, reification, bronze, recovery, bronze. The source of the natural earth, giving it a steady stream of power. And the heavy weight makes it have a stronger physical tonnage, which can increase the upper limit of defense. In cooperation with other talents and skills, basically the epic beasts below the epic can't be moved, and they are dubbed Lapi bears by everyone in the epic field. Su Ming did not expect that he would meet such an opponent. Your name is Su Ming, right? Give up. You can't beat me. Wang Gang, who stepped into the ring, said dully. This time, if it wasn't for the city lord's order, even he didn't want to come. After all, he is a grade repeater who has been granted special approval for 2 years, and he has also participated in important urban tasks. His perspective on things has long been different. Even if the opponent in front of him is powerful, it is impossible to break the defense of the Earth Bear. As for Su Ming's performance before coming, he has also heard about it. Although it is a bit exaggerated, it is completely within the range of the gap between armored envoys and ordinary people. Both of them are armored envoys, and it is absolutely impossible for Su Ming to use that kind of bullying method when facing him. At this time, Su Ming heard Wang Gang's words, and a smile flashed on the corner of his mouth. It seems that you are quite confident. So where are we going? Wang Gang was silent. The opponent in front of him was still quite persistent, and the two sides were not on the same level at all. But when he just thought of this, a sense of danger came to his mind in vain. Crystal blade. Su Ming's voice sounded from the scene. With a swing of his hand, a crystal moon blade that was nearly 4 meters long and shone with silver light burst out directly at the bear of the earth. Out tilde tilde. The deep bear roar of the bear of the earth sounded, and then the bear's paws were stamped on the ground, and a burst of yellow light covered the whole body. In an instant, the entire body of the bear solidified like a reorganization of stones, turning into a heavy defensive posture. Boom! The strong explosion sounded, and the audience felt the shock. After the smoke of the explosion dissipated, the earth bear still stood there, not moving at all. And Su Ming just had a faint smile on his face. At this moment, all the spectators present, including the contestants, all looked demented. Compared with the current game, the game just now was simply playing at home. The intensity of the fight between the two sides is higher than I don't know how many levels. Player Wang Gang, can we officially start now? Su Ming said lightly. The opponent in front of him seemed to despise him a little. At this moment, Wang Gang was silent for a long time before saying, I'm sorry. I underestimated you. Now let's officially start. The ground of the arena began to shake, and rows of 3-meter-long sharp earth thorns suddenly sprang out from under Su Ming's feet. But at this time, all the audience saw Su Ming snapped his fingers, which turned into an afterimage and disappeared in place. When Su Ming appeared, he was already behind Wang Gang. 6 crystal blades refracting silver light manifested around him, making a loud smashing sound, blasting towards Wang Gang. Earth stone wall. Wang Gang and the bear of the earth roared at the same time, and a stone wall solidified with flickering yellow light rose from the ground, directly blocking the way of crystal blade. Boom 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 boom. 6 consecutive explosions blasted to the scene completely, turning into invisible ripple shock waves, spreading around at a speed visible to the naked eye. Sure enough, it's a lascivious bear. Then try this, wolf howl. Su Ming crossed the stone wall, his hands lit up with a strong light. 2 energy bombs stronger than the crystal blade were thrown at Wang Gang. Earth stone shield. Wang Gang finally let go of his hands and feet and roared. A stone shield harder than the stone wall just now, the ground suddenly rises. When the two collided, a more violent explosion wave appeared in the eyes of everyone. When the staff present saw this scene, they became busy in an instant, walked out of a dozen people, lifted the circular instruments one by one, and placed them around the ring. It didn't take long for the on-site broadcast to start broadcasting. Dear viewers, because the intensity of the championship game exceeds the standard, a protective cover will be erected on the scene. There will be a strong tremor later, please don't worry the audience. A green protective shield covering the entire ring, accompanied by violent vibrations, rose in vain. When the shield is closed, the the vibration is completely over. But the audience at the scene was completely boiling. They could not have imagined that this game would be played to such an extent that they even used the protective shield. This is the equipment for defending the city. It's really unexpected. The battle between these two students, whether attacking or defending, is approaching silver level strength. On the top of the city, Zhongqi looked at the scene with bright eyes. The other principals have their eyes almost popping out. This FCK is a high school student. Only Zhu Hong and Principal Kong, the two of them blew their noses and stared at each other, and neither agreed. ... Fuck. Record it and send it back to school. Have you recorded it? Have you recorded it? These two students are not only armored envoys, but also close to the silver level. Su Ming, Wang Gang, these two names. Quickly send them back to the school for investigation. In the last row of the auditorium, the admissions officers of several universities saw this scene and instantly exploded. The opening match between the two showed outstanding strength. In the ring, Su Ming looked at the protective shield raised around him and was surprised. This thing has only appeared on the news before. I couldn't let go of the battle just now, for fear of hurting the auditorium, but now I don't have to worry about it anymore. Thinking of this, Su Ming stopped and said to Wang Gang, the warm-up is over. I'm about to summon a new demons. Wang Gang's eyes narrowed, and a very serious color flashed. In the battle just now, he had summoned the Phantom Beast, but Su Ming relied on his own constitution to fight against it. This proves that Su Ming has gone farther than he is on the evolutionary path of the armorer. And now, Su Ming is going to summon a new demons. What will it be? Come out, Xiaohui. After Su Ming stretched out his arm, the white light flashed, and a little wolf with a full moon mark on his forehead, only half a person tall and bright white, came into everyone's sight. When it appeared, all the girls present screamed cutely. And the boys were very suspicious. The size of the Eudemons is the most intuitive comparison of strength, but with such a strong Su Ming, the size of the Eudemons is not even higher than that of the Black Iron. Xiaohui let out a low growl, and rubbed close to Su Ming's legs. Don't make trouble, get ready to fight, Su Ming said. As soon as the words fell, the entire arena began to shake violently, and Wang Gang's bear of the earth began to approach with heavy steps. The huge body, nearly 6 meters high, stood in front of Xiaohui like a giant. When all the audience saw this scene, their hearts could not help but tangled. The size difference is too big. But in the next moment, everyone's eyes were filled with dullness again. I saw the bright white little wolf let out a majestic wolf roar, and the entire body began to skyrocket at a speed visible to the naked eye. National Armorization. Infinite Evolution Super Illusory God 29. 29. Record, all out, 3 epic lineups. Wu tilde. The passionate wolf roar resounded throughout the audience, causing the audience to feel pain in their eardrums. Then in a short period of time, everyone saw the little wolf, which skyrocketed into a terrifying large-scale phantom beast. The slender wolf body with a height of 7 meters overwhelmed the bear of the earth. The wolf teeth and wolf claws reflect the light of the crystal, and the full moon mark on the eyebrows exudes a soft light. What surprised everyone the most was that under the claws of the giant wolf, the moonlight was condensed repeatedly. What kind of wolf-like Eudemons is this? So handsome, so beautiful, and most importantly, why does it still feel cute when it's bigger? The aura of this phantom beast is amazing. The audience at the scene began to discuss. On the city head, Zhongqi's face was rather strange. After he carefully stared at the giant wolf for a long time, he slowly opened his mouth and said, "Is this the most mysterious epic phantom beast, Howling Moon Sirius?" The principal present was stunned at the same time. Howling Moon Sirius, that phantom beast, except that it appeared in the early days of Divine Recovery, has never heard of it for more than 200 years. It was recorded because of what he saw in the Outer Pamir Plateau when the first armored envoy of the Dragon Kingdom was promoted to the gold rank when he explored the S-rank Kunlun restricted area. It is said that millions of wolves were galloping on the plateau in those days. There are as many as 20 epic gold-level wolf beasts. As for the rare silver grade, there are countless. If that power attacked humanity back then, humanity would have been finished long ago. And the leader of the wolf pack is the Howling Moon Sirius with the full moon mark between his eyebrows. That's not right, isn't Su Ming's phantom beast the Silver Moon Wolf King? How come it has become the Howling Moon Heavenly Wolf again? Principal Zhu Hong couldn't help muttering. But looking at the situation around him, he decided not to say anything. My student's phantom beast is the Howling Moon Sirius, the most mysterious phantom beast. ... As for the group of university admissions officers who were in the audience, their expressions turned a little ugly when they saw Xiaoyu Sirius. Howling Moon Heavenly Wolf, this phantom beast has a lot of extra points in the college entrance examination, right? What do you mean by many? According to the record of that lord, this phantom beast must have a full score. Full score? Impossible. Can it be compared to the legendary Eudemons? Where did your school recruit Shabi, epic and above Eudemons, extra points for the college entrance examination? The scolding of a group of admissions staff did not affect the excitement of the audience at all. When Su Ming summoned the Howling Moon Sirius, the fighting intensity in the arena was upgraded again. Howling Moon Sirius let out a wolf roar, and the full moon mark on his forehead lit up in vain. It transformed into a dozen wolf howling bullets and smashed at the bear of the earth. Boom boom boom. A violent explosion continued to sound inside the protective cover. But it wasn't over yet. Following Su Ming's command, more than 20 crystal blades appeared around Xiaoyu Sirius again, cutting towards the dusty explosion area. Boom boom boom. The audience was stunned and speechless. Just staring wide-eyed, staring inside the protective shield, fighting violently one after another. In their eyes, the energy bomb that was extremely powerful and decided the situation of the battle was thrown by Su Ming at will. Wolf King Cannon, Su Ming shouted, and Xiaohui's mouth began to condense, a flash of white light energy. The violent energy fluctuations made the surrounding space begin to become a little blurry. In the next instant, a large energy wave that occupied all the audience's sight, flickered brightly, and spewed out of Sirius' mouth across the ring. Dong dong dong. Even with the protective cover, the slight vibration is still transmitted to the audience. Damn it, this FCK is a high school student. No, my uncle is also a bronze armored envoy, and he's not that good. What kind of skill is this energy wave? It lasts for 5 seconds, and it doesn't dissipate. The audience present exploded again. Can't believe the intensity in the ring. But at this moment, an extremely low and dull voice came from the ring. Armorization, Earth Guardian, click. A khaki-colored circular shield rose from the center of the arena, covering an area at the center of the explosion. When the Wolf King cannon bombarded the protective cover, it spread around as if it had been weakened and differentiated. Seeing this scene, Su Ming asked Xiaohui to stop the Wolf King cannon. When the smoke dissipated, Wang Gang, wearing the color of the earth and petrified armor, resolutely stood in the ring. You are very strong, Wang Gang, who was armored, said dully. There was no contempt in his eyes. The attack just now made him feel the pressure from the silver level. The continuous firepower and the damage that can tear apart the Earth's stone shield forced him to armor and release the strongest Earth Guardian. Sure enough, it's a rascal bear. It's all right. Su Ming couldn't help muttering. Xiaohui's firepower has been perfectly demonstrated in the special training in the deep forest. Now that it has evolved epically, the damage has doubled or tripled, and as a result, it can only be forced into armor. Su Ming thought about whether he should raise a bear of the earth as his third phantom beast. This thing has too much defense. From now on, I will do my best, Wang Gang said solemnly, making the audience dumbfounded. People haven't fully started fighting yet. But in the next scene, with Wang Gang's hands propped up, an eagle full of thorns spread out its wings and rose from Wang Gang's back. On its left, another giant porcupine with a body like an armored truck, covered with iron thorns and iron, appeared with a low roar. At this moment, the audience was in an uproar. 3 Eudemons. 1 bear, 1 eagle, 1 pig. This is the standard configuration of the National Armored Corps. And Wang Gang seems to be of a higher grade. Su Ming was silent, not expecting to meet such an opponent. I couldn't help but use my gold finger to look at the 2 phantom beasts. Eudemons Eagle of Thorns. Level Black Iron Top Grade. Quality Epic. Talent Power of Thorns Epic. Skill Feather Strike Black Iron. Eudemons Steel Porcupine. Level Black Iron Top Grade. Quality Epic. Talent Power of Steel Epic. Skill Just Thorn Black Iron. They are all epic Eudemons, although they are almost the most rubbish Eudemons in the epic ranking. But it couldn't stand it. With the bear of the earth, it was directly at the bronze level, forming a lineup of 3 epics. Brother, what the hell did you do back then? Staying a level, you actually got 3 epic phantom beasts. Su Ming said, slightly melancholy. Asterisk. National Armorization. Infinite Evolution Super Illusory God 30. 30. Shanyu, double, let in #039, end it like this. Su Ming couldn't help it. Let's put it this way, if you don't have gold finger, and you want to create an epic phantom beast, you may go bankrupt for 3 generations. As for Wang Gang, who had only been kept for 2 years, he actually got 3 of them. At this moment, Su Ming is really unbalanced. Wang Gang was silent for a while, and then he said, I have already joined the army. This is the phantom beast that the country has assigned to me. Su Ming's mouth twitched and stopped talking. It is issued by the state, forget it, don't worry about it. As for the audience at the scene, after seeing Wang Gang's 3 phantom beasts, a climax was set off again. Anyone who has read junior high school will recognize that this is the most common epic monster in textbooks. As for Wang Gang, there are only 3 of them. Principal Kong, that's amazing. When the Eagle of Thorns and the Iron Porcupine are all promoted to bronze, it is estimated that Wang Gang will definitely be in the top 50 in this year's college entrance examination. Zhang Qi said without admiration when he saw this scene. He really did not expect that Xuancheng had such a powerful student. City Lord Zhang is joking, Su Ming from number 3 high school is also good. Principal Zhu, isn't it? Zhehai's bald principal said with a smile. In his opinion, when Wang Gang went all out, Su Ming was sure to lose. After all, at the moment, even if Xiaoyu Tinlong is powerful, it is impossible to beat 3 phantom beasts of the same quality. Hearing this, Zhu Hong snorted coldly, pretending to be indifferent on the surface, but inside he was extremely worried. Because Wang Gang's strength seems to be stronger. But in the next scene, what happened in the ring made Zhu Hong look surprised. Well, if that's the case, then I'm going to do my best. Su Ming said, looking at the 3 epic phantom beasts. Directly let Wang Gang's eyes freeze, and said in a low voice, summon your other phantom beasts. Su Ming smiled and shook his head. No, Xiaohui was just warming up. Now, let's get started. Show the moon. At this moment, the entire arena is bright. Everyone saw the full moon mark on the center of Sirius' eyebrows, releasing an extremely large and soft moonlight. These moonlights didn't seem to hurt at all, but when they condensed together, they began to form a bright moon and gradually floated towards the sky above the ring. Is that the moon? Impossible. There are still phantom beasts that can summon the moon. What trick is this? Seeing this scene, everyone felt puzzled, and Wang Gang frowned. The bright moon that condensed did not bring any pressure to him. But in the next moment, when Su Ming's voice sounded, Wang Gang, who was in the armoring stage, instantly became full of hairs. A sharp sense of crisis came to mind. Moonrise. Whoa. The bright moon above the arena shed a lot of moonlight and condensed on the Wolf of Sirius. As if it was stimulated by something, the surface of its body began to cover and slide layers of soft moonlight, and its breath skyrocketed rapidly. Wow. Sirius took a step forward, a low wolf roar sounded, and the crystallized wolf claws filled with moonlight slammed down towards Wang Gang. In an instant, a crystal blade nearly 5 meters long, exuding a sharp cutting breath, shot through the air. Earth Guardian. In an instant, Wang Gang used his strongest defensive tactics again. But this time, when the crystal blade slashed the khaki armor, a terrifying cut wound appeared on Wang Gang's body. How is this possible? How come your phantom beast is more than twice as strong? Earth recovers. Wang Gang sucked in a breath of cold air and shouted. At the same time, the wound on the armor was also enveloped by a force and began to recover. Su Ming smiled and didn't answer, but said, now, is the official start. Wolf Howl. Swish. 3 energy bombs condensed to the extreme, floating around Sirius, released trembling waves. Thorn Feather Strike. Steel Thorn Rain. After Wang Gang felt the terrifying power, he instantly controlled the other 2 phantom beasts and started to counterattack. In the sky, the feathers of the Eagle of Thorns began to fall off in large quantities, turning into thorns that had been strengthened many times, and shot towards Sirius. The Steel Porcupine also snorted twice and charged towards Sirius. And at the moment of charging, the thorns on its body, like rain, instantly ejected. Inside the protective cover, the thorns, just thorns turned into attacks, rushing towards Sirius from all directions. And the most terrifying thing is that after those attacks landed on Sirius, they directly penetrated his body. All the audience were shocked and couldn't help standing up to check. But at this moment, the wolf began to blur gradually, until it disappeared. At this moment, everyone realized that it was an afterimage. Terrible speed. The university's admissions officer, seeing this scene, gasped without hesitation. But in the next instant, a group of shining energy bullets appeared next to the steel porcupine out of thin air. Boom! The earth-shattering explosion sounded again. In the eyes of everyone, the iron and steel porcupine, which was extremely terrifying, unexpectedly collapsed in this explosion. Tread the moon. Su Ming's command voice also sounded at the same time. In mid-air, a giant Sirius suddenly jumped out. It does not have huge wings, nor is it a bird phantom beast, but under the watchful eyes of everyone, it lightly stepped on the space and walked towards the Eagle of Thorns step by step. Brutal. The Eagle of Thorns felt a severe crisis and couldn't help flying to the heights. But the silver wolf, as if walking on the ground, easily chased after the Eagle of Thorns, raised its crystal-clear wolf claws, and slapped it with one claw. Boom! With a loud noise, the thorny eagle soaring in the sky was knocked over by a blow and fell to the ring with a loud noise. And after Sirius did all this, he ran around triumphantly in the sky. The audience present was stunned. Two epic phantom beasts, were they solved so easily? But at this moment, in the center of the ring, a dull voice sounded impressively. Your phantom beast is strong, but you have a weakness, that is, exposing yourself. This is a taboo for armored envoys to fight. Earth impact. I don't know when, the armored Wang Gang appeared behind Su Ming. The phantom of the bear of the earth appeared behind him, igniting violent khaki energy, turning into an indestructible charge, and slammed into Su Ming. Sirius is too late to rescue. Su Ming is likely to fail directly under this blow. The audience couldn't help but stand up and wait for the final result of the game. But at this moment, an extremely bright flower grew slowly from behind Su Ming, and took root on the ring, swaying gently. At this moment, Su Ming didn't seem to see Wang Gang's attack, and snapped his fingers lightly. This is the end of it. Flower curtain. Fantasy. In the blink of an eye, a light curtain appeared from the stamen, blocking Wang Gang, who was charging. Then the flower buds bloomed, and an invisible force penetrated into Wang Gang's body. At this moment, Wang Gang's eyes turned red violently. Like a corpse, he stopped on the ring, and there was no movement.